Okay, here's the final video of my Zoom training session with Norma, where we're starting to wrap things up. As I mentioned in previous videos, 2 days after this training session, she confidently passed her part 3. If you want either a Zoom or in-car training session with me to help you pass your part 3 or standards check, please contact me on jeff@advancedadi.co.uk. And as always, thanks to Intelligent Instructor and ADI Network for allowing us to share this content with you.
I think it'll be I'm up for the challenge on Wednesday. I'll let you know how it goes.
Yeah, please do.
I will.
Please do.
But thanks for the insight to the full license holder. It was just clarifying some of the differences and just um how to handle it. So I mean I kind of knew it, but I just wanted a bit of clarity on how to approach it when we're more used to learners.
Yeah, and often it is a case, we in our heart of hearts, we know this stuff, but it can just help to get it confirmed and clarified for somebody else going, oh, yeah, okay, I am right.
Exactly.
Yeah, rather than sitting there thinking, is this right or not? And questioning yourself.
And I was just a little bit worried if I didn't sort of pick up the first mirror miss that I would be like, but I understand how to deal with that now in terms of her. So it's fine. It's not as big an issue as I'd made it in my head, basically.
No, it really isn't.
So that's really helpful. Will I be able to have the recording back or be able to look at this? So, because I noticed on Layla's or whatever was her name, Layla. I could read the audio transcript back, which was helpful for.
Yeah, so I'll do exactly the same with you as I did with her. So once we've finished up,
if there's any bits I want to go over again, I mean.
Yeah. So as soon as Zoom allows me access to the recording, which normally is very quickly.
Okay.
So probably be later on today. I'll ping you the link and the passcode that you need.
Okay, thank you.
And then you'll be able to watch it back. You can watch it back 2 ways. You can watch it back with us both side by side, talking on screen, or when you're talking, it's just you, and when I'm talking, it's just me, whichever you prefer. And then, you also have the transcript in the side as well.
Perfect. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's really good. Thank you very much for your help. Much appreciated.
No problem at all. Is there anything, because if you want to run the session to the end, which I'm absolutely happy to, if you want to, is there anything else that you want to cover off? It doesn't necessarily have to be about part 3. It could be about anything. But
trying to think. Yeah, I mean, I suppose the only other thing with the license holder was I had read somewhere, with the GDE matrix and all that, and it was thought the higher levels and thoughts and feelings and how that impacts on your behavior and so on and so forth. And I thought to myself, that's great. But when you're dealing with a spiral roundabout, I'm never going to be able to speak about all our thoughts and feelings. And, I was like thinking to myself, to have to cover that because she's a full license holder. But as you say, you can't change the world in 40 minutes. There's a limit to that.
Yeah. So again, I think it's important to highlight when it comes to things like the GDE matrix, or you're reading, if you have read it, like the ADI 1, the guidance notes for driving exam. All of that is good, useful reading for us as driving instructors. What it absolutely doesn't mean is that's what you should then do with the people that you're supporting. Your job as a driving instructor essentially should be to use all of your knowledge and experience that you've gained over the years, and then think, right, how can I bring out what I know in a way that's as simple as possible for the person that I'm supporting to get and understand? The more detailed information you give them, the harder you're making their life.
Yeah, fair enough.
Which is why personally, I'm not a fan of using acronyms in lessons. I like the acronyms because
Yeah.
it helps me through a thought process
Yeah.
what I need to be explaining to a student. But I very, very, very rarely say to a teach a student the MSPSL routine.
Yeah. And actually, that's not going to be relevant on Wednesday with Emma because she doesn't know that. She's never.
Exactly. If you asked her, or yeah, if you sort of brought into the lesson, right? Okay, so before we get going on these roundabouts, then let's talk about the MSPSL routine. I think, what? What the hell's that? And then you go, well, it's a routine that we use here in the UK
Yeah.
for dealing with hazards. So what that means is, yeah, M stands for mirrors, S stands,
Not
and
good.
yeah, within seconds, she's going to be completely bewildered as to what you're talking about. And
Yeah.
you're introducing so much more complexity into the lesson than you needed to.
Yeah. Yeah.
But even with learners, I don't mention the MSPSL routine generally speaking. What I do is say, as we're driving along, so, we're going to be going left at the end of the road. Who's behind us?
And they'll go check their
Yeah,
mirror.
go, oh, yeah. Any cyclists coming up on the inside? No. Does anybody else know where we're going next? Oh, no.
Yeah.
So what sort of speed do you feel like we should be at as we're getting towards the giveaway line? All right, that's nice. Good. Okay. So just show me what you're going to do next then in terms of the way that you're going to move from one road into the other. So you're effectively covering off the MSPSL routine, but you're doing it in language that they understand. You're not asking to remember a set of letters, because if you're coming up to the end of a road, I can pretty much guarantee if you say to a student, right, we're going to be going left at the end of the road, and they're still in their early stages of learning to drive. So, right, so just remember, let's get that MSPSL routine in.
And they'll be like,
The moment you ask them to remember what a set of letters mean, they go, oh,
yeah.
now they're momentarily distracted.
Yeah.
But the car's still going at 30 miles an hour.
Yeah.
They're disappearing inside their heads. And then you're going, come on, what's the M mean? Oh, mirrors, isn't it? Mirrors. Oh, yeah. Now you're rapidly running out of time. And then they're approaching the junction way too fast. You're having to dual control them. Then you pull over to the side of the road and then you have a chat about it. You go, right, so let's have a talk about this MSPSL routine because clearly you didn't understand it. So if you think about it from the learner's point of view rather than the instructor's point of view, I'm not saying they never work, but acronyms very, very frequently make life more complicated than easier. And you can get them to understand the same things, but by using far more simplistic language.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, no, that makes sense. It's the same with the ladder. Says you look, it says to say Jack, and they're like, well, just do. It can be a lot easier than it needs to be sometimes, or a lot clearer.
Yeah, so I mean, quite frequently when I'm picking up a student for the first time and we're driving over to the practice area and they've never driven a car before, yeah, I do run through the DSSM to an extent, but I just do it on the move. Just say, so let's just figure out what you know, what you don't know. So what's this? Steering wheel. Great. Okay. What's this here? Gear stick. Brilliant. What's that? Handbrake. Fine. I've got 3 pedals down at my feet. Do you know what they are and roughly what they do and what order they're in? And they'll tell you whatever they know or they don't know. What foot will I use on what pedal? What if I press this indicator? Or sorry, what if I press this lever here? What would that do? Up or down? And what if I use the one on the other side? Yeah, so just by asking easy to understand open questions, within a few minutes, you can get them telling you what they already know and what they don't know. So that completely then eradicates the need when you get to the practice area to bring out your visual diagrams and take them through the DSSM
Yeah.
for half an hour.
Because you've done it, you've covered it.
You've done it. Yeah. So as soon as you've pulled over, you're doing a little maybe quick demo drive, and within minutes they're in the driving seat and they're moving. That's a far, far more enjoyable experience for a student to sit at the side of the road for 35, 40 minutes listening to you being a subject matter expert about how to get yourself set up in a car.
Definitely. Way more client centered too, and more fun for them. And
Yeah, of course it is.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's why I say all of the text that you'll have access to as a driving instructor, yeah, it can be very, very useful. And I'd always encourage anybody to read as much as they can, to understand as much as they can, but don't then fall into the trap of thinking you've then got to regurgitate that to a student.
Yeah.
Your job is to understand how you can synthesize down what you know and put it in a language and explain it in a way that makes sense to somebody that has far less knowledge than you have.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. So yeah, I'll be on it on Wednesday.
So, well, I wish you all the best, Norma. I'll
Thank
keep
you
my
very
fingers,
much.
toes, and everything else
And
crossed for
you.
you
Nice to meet you.
and you. And yeah, please do let me know how it goes.
I will do.
Oh,
Thank
by the
you.
way, just to let you know, Leela, who you watched the
Oh
video
yeah.
for,
How did you get on?
yeah, well, so I met her for the first time.
Mhm.
When was it? I can't remember now. A couple of days ago.
Mhm.
That was the first time I met her. We did that training session. Got a message from her the following day. She passed.
Excellent.
Got 35.
Oh, that's fantastic. Well, I hope I can do that. I got 26 on my first attempt, so 10 better would be amazing. But we'll see.
I'm confident you can do it. I think you've got your head
Yeah.
in the right place.
Yeah.
I think you've learned your lessons from the previous attempt,
Yeah.
and I hopefully, the conversation that we've had
Yeah.
now has just given that confidence that you're thinking along the right lines.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of stuff that you can work on without making it overcomplicated.
Exactly. That's what I needed to hear. That it's okay. You don't need to make it really complicated just because it's a full license holder and that's what the examiner will expect. No. Yeah. So
Okay, so
thank you.
we'll end the meeting now, and then, as I say, just have a look out in your inbox for an email from me giving you the link.
Okay, Jeff. Thanks very much. Nice to meet you.
Okay, and you take care.
Goodbye. Bye.
Bye.